Hello everyone and welcome to the last video for the solving of section B of the FM Pre-June 2025 mock exam. So the name of the question is Green Company and this pertains from the working capital unit of your syllabus. So let's read the scenario. Green Company needs help in calculating various ratios and holding periods to better manage their working capital. An extract from their accounting records for the latest financial year is as follows. You're given with the receivables, inventory, payables, sales amount, and the material purchases. We have to assume that there are 365 days in a year. Green Company is also looking to introduce just-in-time JIT inventory management system in its operations, and the management wants to get an understanding of the aims of that system. So the very first requirement that it gives us is we have to calculate the accounts receivable collection period for Green Company from the table above. So we are given with the table, we know the formula for the accounts receivable. So we are going to use the following numbers. The numerator is going to be the receivables and the denominator has to be the credit sales. Total sales are 1500, 75% of this is credit sales. So I take up 75% of 1500, or you can say 1500 multiplied by 0.75. So 1125 is the amount of our credit sales. 450 divided by 1125. 450 divided by 1125, and this needs to be multiplied by 365 to arrive at our final answer, which is going to be 146 days. So 146 days is the answer for our accounts receivable collection period. Let's move ahead to the second question. Second question wants us to tell the payables payment period for Green Company. So when you talk about the payables payment period, we say numerator is going to be our payables amount, which is 180. This needs to be divided by our credit purchases. So material purchases are worth 1200. 60% of them are on credit. So 180 divided by 1200 into 60%. You take 180 divided by 1200 into 0.6, and this fraction needs to be multiplied by 365, which will give you 91 days as your final answer. So simple so far. Let's move ahead to the third question. Third question, they are asking you which of the following statements are attributable to JIT inventory management systems. First statement tells you JIT aims to make the production process flexible by making it responsive to customers' requirements. Now, this statement is absolutely correct. What is our aim at JIT? We keep zero inventory. We say whenever the customer gives us the order, we are going to make it as per that. So we are more responsive to the customer's requirements. We are not producing anything in advance. Whatever my customer tells me to produce, I'm going to produce exactly that for them. So statement 1 is absolutely correct. That means option A and option C can be eliminated. Statement 2 says the main aim of JIT is to calculate the optimum inventory, optimum order quantity to be ordered for raw materials. Now, JIT says keep no inventory. So statement 2 cannot be correct. Any option that gives you statement 2 can be straight away eliminated. That way you lead to again option A and C. Statement, option A and this option C can get eliminated. Now let's come to the third statement. Third statement says the system aims to reduce capital tied up in inventory. This statement is absolutely correct. We are saying we want to minimize the holding cost of inventory as much as possible. So we do not want to spend any money which gets tied up, which gets stuck in inventory. Whenever the customer wants, we are going to produce it and we are going to sell it to them. We do not want to spend any money. We do not want to get our money blocked in inventory till the time the customer is not actually purchasing the goods. So statement 3 is absolutely correct. 1 and 3 should be correct. Let's also see the fourth statement. Fourth statement says a single JIT manufacturer looks for a single supplier who can provide the lowest price rather than high quality, frequent and reliable deliveries. Now, when you operate the JIT system, this essentially means you are producing just in time. You have not done any earlier production. Whenever the customer gives you the order, you start your production then. So if that is what happens, we need more frequent, we need high quality materials, and we need reliable deliveries. Why? Because if I have received an order, I need to immediately start working on it. And if my supplier by mistake sends me wrong quality, is not able to send me frequent deliveries, or if, the deliveries are not reliable. I asked to send the material today, he's sending me 7 days later. That is not what is going to work in JIT. If your suppliers are that way, you will not be able to operate the JIT environment. So only statement 1 and 3 are correct, which means we will mark option B to be our final answer. Let's move ahead to the second last question pertaining to this case study. We are required to calculate the EOQ, economic order quantity. I wanted to highlight this. I by mistake clicked there. Okay. So we want to calculate the economic order quantity to the nearest of 1 unit. We are given with the additional information. Monthly requirement of one of the materials is 5,000 units. So that means if I want to find out the requirement for the entire year, what is it going to look like? It's going to be 5,000 is for 1 month. There are 12 months in a year. So 60,000 units is going to be my yearly requirement. Purchase price is 12 per unit. Cost of capital is 10% per year. Storage costs are 1.75 per unit per year. And then the vendor is charging you $175 per order for each delivery. So the EOQ formula, even if you people do not remember, it's a good thing that we are given with it in our formula sheet. Here's the formula: 2 into CO. CO is the cost of ordering, into D, divided by the CH, and all of this needs to be taken an under root of. So we have already calculated our demand. Let's also work around our holding cost. Rest everything is given. 1.75 is there, and then we also have a cost of capital. So 10% of what you spend on inventory, that is something that you also spend to hold your inventory. Your 1 unit is for 12. Multiply that by 10%, that gives you 1.2. So 1.2 plus 1.75, this is going to be 2.95 is going to be your final cost of holding the units that you do in your inventory. So 2.95 is what we are going to take. We have our formula already. Let's use brackets. 2 multiplied by, you have the annual demand was $60,000. Then you are supposed to take the cost of ordering, which is given to us as 175. And this now needs to be divided by the cost of holding, which we've just worked out as 2.95. So this is what we get. And now we need to find out the root of this. So we can raise it to the power of 1 by 2. And this is going to give us our final answer. 2668, we want to make it to the nearest unit. This is smaller than 5. So we're going to round it off to 2668 units. This is what is going to be my final answer, 2668 units. Now let's move ahead to the last question pertaining to this case study. Green company is considering to offer a cash discount of 1.5% to a specified segment of customers if if they pay within 60 days. Currently, they pay within 90 days. Assuming 360 days in a year, what is the annual effective cost of the discount to 1 decimal place of a percentage? So we use the formula that we have learned here. We take the discount amount, divide that by the remaining amount. We have to raise it to the power of 360 divided by the number of days which will be saved, and we have to subtract the final answer. We have to subtract 1 from our final answer. So the fraction is going to become plus what your fraction is, that is 1.5 divided by 98.5. Yes, you take this fraction, this has to be raised to the power of 360 divided by 30. And then from this, you have to take away 1. So you multiply this by 100, you will get your answer in percentage, which is going to be 19.89. So we select option B to be our final answer. So I'll repeat it once again for the ones who got confused. My apologies. The formula is 1 plus discount upon amount remaining, and this fraction entirely has to be raised by 360 divided by the number of days which gets saved, and from that you take away 1. So you take 1 plus, you take your fraction, 1.5 is the discount, you divide that by the remaining amount, which is 98.5, and this entire fraction gets raised to the power of to the power of 1 plus 1.5 divided by 98.5, and this whole fraction gets raised to the power of 360 divided by the days saved, 90 minus 60, which is 30. So this is what you enter. From this, you take away 1 and then you multiply that to a percentage, you're going to get 19.89. So this is what your final answer is going to look like. With this, we have come to an end to the solving of section B case studies. I'm going to also upload or probably conduct live the section C questions with you people. So stay tuned for that. All the very best for your exam.